Hello and welcome to BW London podcast. So I'm going to share a video that I created for TikTok, which has me very close to being banned. They've taken it down. I've appealed it. We'll see if it's allowed back up over the next few days or however long they take. So yeah, this is the video.
Fantastic member of the Air Force. My dad was actually in intelligence. Some right-wing people on the internet think I'm a CIA plant because my father was with intelligence. I'm not a CIA plant.
It says that controlled opposition are spies, right? So why do you think Tristan Tate's license plate says Tate Spy? He's literally letting you know in plain sight because they have to admit what they are. And there's an interesting connection with Greta Thunberg because she was beefing with Andrew Tate right before he was arrested. And there's actually a group called Greta that is against trafficking, which is exactly what Andrew Tate is being accused of. So what are the chances of that? That's why they used Greta Thunberg for this situation. And even Tristan Tate did predictive programming of this because on January 21st, 2020, he posted this meme of himself and his cars and then Greta Thunberg on the bottom. So clearly this is all scripted, and Greta Thunberg was obviously scripted to be a part of this. And notice how when Andrew made this tweet about Greta, he said that he has 33 cars. They scripted Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate's arrest because they're controlled opposition. So they want people to think that they're real and that they're going against the Matrix. But in reality, they're actually working for the Matrix as controlled opposition. And they're controlling our side by using these infiltrators such as Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, and even Donald Trump. Andrew Tate is based off of Anton LaVey. Anton LaVey is the founder of the Church of Satan, so that explains why Andrew Tate is infiltrating in religion right now. He's doing a big divide and conquer tactic between Muslims and Christians. He does all of this symbolism, just like his dad. His dad worked for the CIA, but yet people think Andrew Tate is a credible source. The truth is that he's also an agent, and he's a controlled opposition agent. Everyone knows that this hand sign is obviously associated with the Freemason diamond logo. So if someone was a real person and they're trying to attack the Matrix, why would they use the same logo that the Matrix uses? He does this multiple times. Notice how even when he got arrested, he did it in the van because he has to let you know in plain sight who he works for. And there's so many idiots that try defending him and saying that he's not doing symbolism. He's just doing this hand sign for power. Really think about what power he's trying to get. And of course, Anton LaVey does the same symbolism that these characters are doing. So none of this is a coincidence. This statue of Lucifer falling from heaven. And notice how there's a snake wrapped around Lucifer's leg because the snake represents the serpent from the Bible. And that's why Tristan Tate has multiple snakes wrapped around him, and so does Anton LaVey and Andrew Tate. And right here, Andrew Tate has this picture of these two knights from chess that represent Andrew and Tristan, and notice how the snake is wrapped around them. And notice how Tristan Tate has this picture with Tristan and Andrew, and there's a big snake dragon behind them, and they're dressed up as knights, which is referencing the Knights of Templar, which is a fraternal order affiliated with Freemasonry. So clearly all of this was scripted with this pizza. And notice how the number 25 is also on there, because death equals 25. So there's a high possibility that one of these two characters is going to fake their death.
So the video speaks for itself, but it did lead me into wanting to know who Greta Thunberg is. I've seen small clips, but here's a small paragraph about who she is.
Alexa, who is Greta Thunberg?
Greta Tintin Eleonora Ernman Thunberg is a Swedish environmental activist who is known for challenging world leaders to take immediate action for climate change mitigation. Thunberg's activism began when she persuaded her parents to adopt lifestyle choices that reduce their own carbon footprint.
Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones.
Well, I only had to watch that small clip and a few clips that I went through today to learn about her. As much as I've seen her on the grapevine, I know very little about her, but she's quite obviously a plant to push the whole climate change agenda, which is fake and all part of the new world government, the new world order that we're in, and getting people into these little mini smart cities so they can have AI can have absolute control of us. And using a young girl, it's smart because few will argue. She will seem like radical and amazing and courageous, but you know, she is just literally a plant, a part of the Illuminati and a part of the system.
What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories, and they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions.
I know you all know there's no climate problem. I know you know that.
It wasn't hard to find her allegiance with the Illuminati, Satanism, and towards Lucifer and so on. It was quite easy to find her throwing up the hand signs and so on. And there is a guy on Twitter that apparently exposed her doppelganger or her connection with fallen angels, because as I said in the raw videos, all these people on a global stage, they all share the same bloodline, and they're all part of the global agenda and this new world order that is happening now and continues to progress. So just a little bit about him.
But yeah, I remember coming across that photo on a really obscure, dodgy website, which disappeared after I tweeted it. And I tweeted it on my little Twitter account, and I just said, you know, oh my god, look at this photo. It looks like Greta Thunberg, and yeah, it's my new favorite conspiracy theory that she is a time traveler. And honestly, like, it just went crazy. So this is the tweet, which at the time had 46.4k likes and 15.6k retweets, but that picked up over time. And it was a little like jokey tweet, but it got picked up by CBC, The Guardian, The Metro. I think it was even on things like BBC News at some point. There was a whole discussion on CTV News on like a panel show, all around this little funny tweet that I did that just went crazy.
So as you can see, the news networks picked it up immediately. I know there's a clip of her on TV where they put it to her about her lookalike, and you know, she laughs it off.
My favourite conspiracy theory about you is that this is not the first time you've been on this earth. That in fact Greta was here in 1898 and she's a time traveller. It does look like you though.
Yeah, I mean...
It's got this, the hair's
From
very...
a distance, yeah.
Yeah?
It is really just proof that this is the same bloodline at work and the same people creating this stage right now. So how you interpret this picture that is definitely her or a relative of hers really depends on what you believe. It's been said that she's part of the Rothschild family, which any of it is believable, because at the end of the day, just like I said, as I revealed in the recent video about the royals, all of these people are related by a bloodline. I believe that's the similarity between Tate and Anton LaVey. So, you know, and he's definitely emulating him, probably has the same bloodline as him. We know that all these people on the world stage, they are all connected and they are all related. So what's interesting to me is that all these pictures that you can find of their relatives or people within their same bloodline, they're all significant people, just as would be expected. They're all some kind of prestige in their time. The fact that you even have a photo of them at times where some of them were only paintings were applicable. And they date back some to, well, Greta Thunberg one is exactly 125 years old, but some of them date back to Egyptian times, like the Michael Jackson one. So, yeah, it's really interesting, I think. But it is really just proof that this is the same bloodline at work and the same people creating this stage right now. But another thing that crossed my mind as I was looking at all these different pictures, even though they're not very popular on TikTok and the theory itself isn't very popular, we're living in a day and age where people believe that everything's coming to light, even though it's part of the agenda. So, for example, the Balenciaga stuff, people are like, oh, we've caught them out. Well, no, they've staged that. Everything is staged and everything is part of a theatre production. That's the best way I can put it. So even all these pictures of them of old who are significant people, that in itself could be a ritual, having to take your picture of somewhere in the past that will hopefully come to light and lead people astray. Because the truth of the matter is, as much as the fallen angels breeding with mankind is something that happened, according to the Bible, after Noah, all those people were drowned out and things were recreated, and the people that made made children and offspring with the giants and so on, that all died out in Noah, with the flood, according to the Bible. So I'm just really mindful not to go down any type of rabbit hole that seems like I've got evidence for it. Because there's so much evidence right now. You've got people like Kanye West talking about the sacrifice of his mother and so on. And although these things are true, they want us to know this for a reason. People are coming up with different theories like, oh, they're just testing the waters. They're not testing anything. Their psychology is so much further ahead than ours, you know. So I'm just very mindful of what I believe. But I did also learn that a couple of days ago she was arrested for one of her protests about some coal mine or something. And what's kind of, so, I say gone viral on Twitter, everybody has low views that has exposed it, but it was a fake arrest. Now, why we've been able to find this out or why this footage is available, more than likely an agenda within itself.
You also want those for email? Wie sieht's denn aus mit... You also want those for email? Wie sieht's denn aus mit der Badstraße?
It was staged very much as Andrew Tate's arrest was staged, and all this kind of creation that they're making to kind of make us stick with people that are just forced. They're just plants. They are spies. These people are put here to lead the masses basically to hell. It really is that simple. I am going to leave it there, but yes, thanks for listening.